Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, and let me guess, you're probably wondering how can I make some Flame Elementium here in Arcana Season of Torchlight Infinite. Well, don't worry, I have you covered. So one of the big strategies that you want to do is you're going to go up here to your Void chart and customize this to how you want to farm and make money in the game. And as we're going through here, one of the things I would recommend first for you to really do is to invest in the commodities nodes here, especially before you make it to tier 7. You probably want to put points into embers and probably flames so you can craft gear. But once you kind of like get past the tier 2 crafting phase, you probably want to take all of these points out as you don't need them anymore. And I really do like these like treasure chest thing here. It does give you a nice little boost of loot. Nice little positive thing. And then this section here is good for once you're time mark 7 and above. It makes it so your star shards more likely to drop, which is very nice. But in terms of actual farming strategies, I think that Nightmare is probably number 1 for sure. And the reason for this is, well, first off, we have Nightmare guaranteed here. And then we go over here and makes it so that we get elites, extra elites every time we open the Lotus. And then killing elites, there's a chance to get lightning. And Sweet Dream Lightning pretty much just annihilates every enemy in range, and you can literally just run through the map as fast as you possibly can, and it'll just shock and destroy freaking everything. It is amazing. But the real juice comes from right here, this Regretful card. And what this will do is it'll add to your Void deck a card that can appear like this one here, but instead it will look kind of like this with this little symbol in the corner. This makes it so that Sleepwalkers have, this is the rainbow card, 9% chance to drop 1 additional Shallow Dream Talking, and then normal monsters have a 9% chance to get 1 additional Shallow Dream Talking. And when you get this particular card, you are going to want to just slam as many monsters onto the map, and this will give you pretty much these Shallow Dream Talkings. And this is like 6, 7 FE. This here is like 1, 2 FE, and then the weapon one is 3 FE. And this basically allows you to add modifiers to the implicits of your items. I did this in the previous take of the video. I got attack speed, and you can have 3 items that has this particular mod, so you can make quite a bit of money by farming this mechanic. Now, other stuff you can kind of look into farming is pretty much anything that adds monsters to the map, or kind of just gives you loot just kind of for playing anyways. So adding like mist-filled monsters adds like a pretty low impact elites to the map that pretty much can give you these resonance eyes, which are about half an FE a pop, which is pretty good. You can also add some of these terror mobs either by going to the left here and getting a terror mobs every map, or go down here to get a chance to have a boss that appears in your map. I'm also really kind of liking taking these nodes for Frozen Canvas. So Frozen Canvas is from last season. And this makes it so that your bosses drop additional sets of snow paper fragments, and it also gives you a confusion card that gives you a bunch of snow paper fragments when you complete the stage. This is just kind of like free money that's already falling off of every single boss. So even like the Terror Realm bosses, or really any other mechanic that adds bosses, this is going to proc off. Now, I was testing out this here, and these mobs are really dangerous. Really quite dangerous. I really wouldn't recommend this stuff right away until you get a little bit tankier. But yeah, this mob is insane. Other stuff you can kind of do here, you can potentially pick up some of these compasses, or not compasses, beacons. This does help with the loot a little bit. I really do like taking God of War here to kind of give myself more speed. Speed is kind of money, because the faster you clear the map, the faster you can get into the next map to clear that one even faster. And so clear speed is kind of like a multiplier to your gameplay, which is where we're going to get into another piece of strategy, which is when you're doing like time mark 7, time mark 8, if you cannot handle going up a tier, so if you're doing time mark 7 and you can't handle time mark 8, you should always be clearing your maps at time mark 7-0. And I'll show you why. So time mark 7 here, 7-0. We compare this to time mark 7-1. The only thing that really changes here is we get 5% additional drop quantity and more drop chance for the Plane Watcher to drop legendary gear. And so just 5% more and then 10% more doesn't really mean anything special, right? 10% extra loot, but it might take you more than like you don't like you get if it takes you more than 10% more time, you're actually losing loot by going up to a higher difficulty. And I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, but Don, I need to do this so that I can get all of my points here to progress. Well, what you can actually do is you can go and run your maps at 7-0, and then when you have enough to summon the boss, you just turn up the wheel to 7-1, 7-2, and then you run the boss, and you'll be able to get your points and go right back to doing 7-0. In fact, you should always do the Watcher on the hardest difficulty because it gives them higher chance of dropping their good loot. But yeah, that's really, really quite important to not do the wrong thing. Not do the too hard of difficulty. The other thing here is you can potentially go and get more cards by taking this node here. A lot of times I will just spread it out and just take 2 drop quantity nodes. I don't think that these are super duper impactful. Also, definitely never take this node. Star shards are incredibly, incredibly valuable, and you can sell these. Like each star shard is basically half an FE. So if you're just blasting through maps, that's like a lot of money you're throwing away per just trying to get a rarer card, which is kind of a little bit wild to me. And yeah, that's pretty much that for the strategy stuff. I do think the things you kind of want to avoid for right now are might and machines. These 2 nodes are very high investment. They kind of do require a lot. Cogwheel last season was really bad. They did nerf it down a little bit, so we'll have to see if it's actually worthwhile doing. I would love that. I loved Cogwheel when the season was out. Not very good. Also, you want to make sure you're doing your Arcana mechanic. I did a whole video about that as well, so go check that out. Is pretty good. And then lastly, make sure you're talking to this guy. Space-Time Wanderer. You go over here to Memory Decryption, and you can go and put your cards in here. Now, there's a Store All button right behind me, and it'll store in all the cards, and I can click Confirm, skip all, and then it will go pretty fast here. You can see I had a whole bunch of FE just kind of sitting in my bags. I click Store All, Confirm, Store All, Confirm. Hey, look, we're getting like 9 FE almost every click here. And so there we go. We got quite a bit of FE just from that. Lastly, make sure you're actually going through your inventory and checking your like commodity tab here. There's a lot of the stuff in this tab sells. People want it, right? So these binding keys, you need these to change your void chart points. 10 of them for an FE basically, or even like 10 of them to 2 FE. Netherrealm Resonance, I probably wouldn't sell right now. The Shallow Dream Talking you already talked about. Energy Cores, if you don't need them, pretty darn good. Ultimate Embers, pretty good as well. Truth Embers even, pretty good. All of these like precious embers and stuff, these will sell as well. I bought a whole bunch of fine embers for leveling. So yeah, like a lot of this stuff will sell for money. So might as well sell it to somebody who's going to use it. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to use these. So I'm going to go sell these out right now. So I'm going to put 42, and then the price per unit there was 0.22. So 9 FE, and just get the stuff out of your inventory. You want to try to be selling stuff as much as you possibly can. Bought a whole bunch of stuff here lately already, but like the more you sell stuff, the more money you can make. And so I've already sold like 651 FE worth of stuff. And then, yeah, you also might have these Flame Elementium vouchers. You can use these to reclaim some of the taxes that you've paid. And these go, you know, they get these from a lot of different sources. And it just gives you your FE back, because I believe it's like 1 out of every 8 FE of something you sell gets evaporated by the market from taxes, and it allows you to get your money back. Hopefully these tips helped you out a little bit. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is probably going to also be a written guide on our new website, heroic.gg. It is a guide website where we're going to have a whole bunch of information about Torchlight Infinite. It's going to try to be replacing that other guide site that decided to stop supporting the game. We want to create a site where we have a lot of great information for stuff. And yeah, come check it out. Hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon. Come by the stream.